Hey everybody, welcome back. This week we're going to take on a tough one. In the world of retirement planning, what happens when mom and dad can no longer take care of themselves? This is a topic referred to as long-term care planning, and it's a big gaping hole in our country's otherwise strong financial well-being. So I thought it would be a good thing to talk about. It's a good thing to talk about because right now, 2024, the last of the baby boomers are turning 60 this year. By the time we hit 2030, the age group 65 and over will be 20% of our population. Think of that. So there are some very big risks here that impact everybody on this video, whether you have a mom and dad to care for, whether it's you to be cared for, or whether you just don't like the way that the financial trends are going to impact you. So why is this such a challenge? It's a challenge because there's a hole in our systems when it comes to long-term care. See, it's not covered by health insurance. It's not covered by Medicare. There's some times where it's covered by Medicaid, but that is a need-based solution and you have to be broke to get it. So how do people take this challenge on, and when is the right time to talk about it? If you stick around to the end of this video today, I'm going to give you a free planning tool that I think no home should be without. I'm very proud of it, so hopefully you'll stick around. But let's dig in. Let's talk about this a little bit. A recent study showed that only 1/3 of people out there were confident in their long-term care discussions or their long-term care planning. And if you take that to the 60 and older group, which is the one that's getting ready to deal with it, that number drops to about 17%. So why is this? It's a tough conversation. It's a tough conversation to have. People don't want to sit down with their kids and talk about what happens when I can't take care of me anymore. Who picks me up off the bathroom floor? Who puts me in and out of the shower? Is it my daughter? A lot of families have to deal with this. And when it comes to caregiving, there's a very disproportionate share that falls on the girls, the daughters of the family. Whether it's right or wrong, that is what it is. So that can tend to put strain on marriages, that can put strain on parental relationships. There's a lot of reasons why this needs to be addressed and handled. As the consumer, so if you're in mom and dad's shoes, what's important to you? Where do I get taken care of? Who takes care of me? Who's providing this care? Who's making sure I get my medication? Who's helping me in and out of the bathroom, in and out of the shower? And for some people that want to retain some measure of dignity, planning for this in advance is the only way to keep it. Because if you can't afford to be taken care of, Medicaid will do it for you, but you're not going to like the care, I promise. So let's have these conversations with our family. There is no coverage for long-term care because it's considered to be old age, frailty, or sometimes cognitive impairment like Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. But here's a thought for you. The typical retiree family will spend over $400,000 on normal, routine health care in retirement. If you were to throw in an Alzheimer's case, which could add 4 to 8 years many times of additional care, then that's very likely an additional $400,000. This stuff is deadly to the family's wealth, and planning ahead is the only answer. And having these tough conversations so that people understand what are your wishes? Where do you want to be cared for? In what setting? By who? And who participates in that? Who are the caregivers? Who's helping out? You know, these are the types of conversations we need to have with the family. And where does it come in financially? Well, I personally believe you should have retirement income nailed down first. So if you don't have a solid retirement income plan and you don't know where all of your income is coming from in retirement, this might be a little premature for you. But if we have income nailed down, the very next thing to look at for family security is the long-term care risk. And the stats on it are pretty alarming. So if you're alive at age 65, there is a 70% chance you're going to need some form of long-term care. So the question becomes, how do you pay for it? Who delivers it? And these are the topics that we can cover in robust conversations with our kids and have meaningful interactions with the family. And there's a feeling that goes with having this done and having it planned for. And it's that, it's very hard to put a price tag on that feeling. That feeling is priceless. But you want to know that you're going to get the care that you need. You want to know that it's going to come without bankrupting your family. And you want it to happen in the way and the manner that which you experience the greatest deal of happiness and dignity in retirement. So retirement planning, there's three main phases of retirement. We call them the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. And there's different planning for each. But that first phase of retirement, when you're newly retired and every day is Saturday and you've got all your money saved up and now it's time to hit that bucket list, those are fun years. You begin to slow down as your body can no longer do what it used to do. And then those no-go years, that's when the conversation shifts from just typical retirement planning to conservation of wealth, conservation of the family's money, because this has a way of robbing families blind with caregivers and nursing homes and medical bills and all of those things. And how does the industry respond to that? Well, initially they had long-term care insurance. And long-term care insurance is on a health insurance kind of chassis, meaning I pay premiums every year, and if I have the need for the care, then I have the insurance there. But the struggle was, if you never needed the care, that's a lot of money you threw out the door. And I think that was a big setback in the long-term care industry's business model. That, and along with the fact that, the earlier you buy long-term care insurance, the lower the premium is. However, the older you get, the higher the premium goes. And so I think the industry fell flat on its face in that case as well, because people were concerned that they wouldn't need the money or need the care, and they would just pay those premiums forever. And then even worse than that is people who paid the premiums for years and years and years, but then got priced out because it got too expensive in their 70s and 80s when they needed it the most and they had to let it drop. Well, I think the industry's done a very good job of rising to the challenge, and they've come out with newer linked benefit programs that combine elements of either annuities or life insurance to provide for the fact that, hey, if I don't need this care, if I just live my life and die peacefully in my sleep, never needed the care, I don't lose that money. That money goes to my family and it goes there on a tax-free basis. So to help facilitate this conversation, I've put together a tool, and if you're still with me, this is going to be something for you. I call it the Family Treasure Map, and what it is it's a way for families to communicate with one another what their wishes are, what their dreams are, where their treasure is buried, who are their advisors, what are the important bits of information that you need, because everybody knows somebody who has lost a parent and who has tried to come in after the fact and clean up the mess. And this is something that, if you're doing proper retirement planning and if your head is in the right spot, you don't want to leave your family in a case like this ever. So if you do have your income planning nailed down and you're happy with it, the next step is to really have that conversation with your loved ones about care. Who is going to care for us when we can't do it for ourselves anymore? See, retirement planning mostly is about how to fund your life when you no longer have a job because you're too old. So you're just using your assets and your benefits to fund that period of your life. But that third period of retirement, the no-go years, the whole emphasis shifts there into making sure you have adequate care in the right situation and you're not bankrupting your family for it. So check out this tool, check out the Family Treasure Map, share it with people that you love. Let's get those conversations going out there. If this was beneficial for you, like and subscribe to this and share it with some people. And drop me some comments. I'd love to hear some stories out there. There's tons of stories that I think can really get people motivated to act. Usually you have to see somebody go through it first, and that's kind of what sparks that urge or that desire to start that next level of planning. But I encourage all of you listening out there today, there is someone in your family right now who's worried about this. There is somebody in your family right now who is at risk. Let's have these conversations. I look forward to hearing from all of you on this, and check out that Family Treasure Map.